Well, a recent New York Times article called Holiday Reality Check hits home for a lot of folks whose parents are becoming elderly. So what do you do when you stop by your elderly parents' home and then you realize, you know what, things aren't exactly the way they should be? When is the right time to step in and help them make some big decisions about their lives? So Dana Needham with Liberty Home Care and Hospice is in today to answer some of these questions. How are you today?
I'm good, Eric. How are you?
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Let's begin with, we talked on the phone yesterday about this, 5 warning signs that you look for, or actually 6, that you look for when you visit an elderly parent and maybe you say, some things need to be changed.
Right. What I really want to look at and focus on are the obvious recent falls. That's a big one, and we can look at that closely. That's pretty obvious. We want to have that open communication. We also want to look at memory loss. That's a big one in the elderly community. That's kind of easy to assess in our family when we talk to them and see them in person.
Because you can tell.
You can tell. Absolutely.
And the next one?
A recent hospital stay, that's kind of obvious. You're going to typically know about that, but that's a trigger we want to look for.
Now, sometimes they may not communicate with you as well either, so you have to, sometimes you may have to check on that and see if they have had a visit.
And that's a big thing because a lot of times we're not seeing them on a regular basis. So we want to make sure that we are talking to them about their health and how they're doing.
And number 4 was weight loss or depression?
Weight loss or depression, it's very easy to see weight loss in someone you haven't seen in a while. You notice it more. And signs of depression is a big one. Cleanliness is huge. You can kind of look and assess to see if your family member is disheveled. Doesn't look like they have looked in the past. That's a big trigger for
And that's not just the house, that's personal hygiene.
That's personal hygiene,
right?
Absolutely. Okay. That's a big one.
And then lack of mobility was
Lack of mobility. Watch how they're walking, see if they're hesitant to get up. Watch them when they get up. That's a big trigger.
What do you do if you spot one of those signs or all of them? I mean, how do you handle this? Because this is touchy based on the person that you're dealing with.
It is. And a lot of times as adult children, we don't want to have those conversations with our parents. But that's the big thing. We have to be communicating with our parents. We have to be communicating with our elderly family members. Direct communication is key. That's the best thing that we can do.
What if, let's say, one of your parents that you're noticing this with is stubborn and is like, no, I can't, I'm not going to give up my independence. Do you approach that as a family and have everybody kind of come in and talk to them, or do you think it's better one-on-one? But that, again, I guess differs.
That will depend on the relationship. There are a lot of variables there, so just make sure that you are well aware. Communicating, that open communication is key. It's very important.
Can you guys help with that process?
Absolutely.
If someone wants to contact you?
Absolutely.
Okay.
We have services, home health services, rehabilitation services. We do home safety evals, so if you find something that you think is odd, we'll be happy to come in and take care of it.
Well, let's give you some information then. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you so much for having me.
Great information there. And if you want to contact or stop by, for that matter, Liberty Home Care and Hospice, they're at 1306 West Wendover in Greensboro. That's Suite 100. And you can give them a call at 336-545-9609. We've also linked you to their website in the link section of digtriad.com. And I also put a link in there for that New York Times article we talked about, Holiday Reality Check. Now we'll go over to Tracy.
7:40.